yes, I knew how to do hair because every girl had a doll, right? But that wasn't necessarily my passion. My clientele started to dwindle down because everybody wanted locks. Like I
Yeah.
lost everything. What am I gonna do? And honestly, at that particular moment, I was like, I'm not doing hair anymore. I don't have anything. I don't even have my own home. I don't have a chair. I don't have a dryer. I don't have anything. Like
Yeah.
it got a little tough when I had to scale back. But I had to scale back because now I also have my own family that I have to take care of. The goal is not for me to be just a hairstylist. I've done that part already.
Right.
When you're on this journey or any journey, you make it yours.
What's up, y'all? This is Essence China, and today we are having a rare conversation, and we are going to be joined with the incredible Sherelle Holder. She is a visionary behind Caribbean Kinks and what many may know as the Queen of Locks. Through her creativity and artistry, Sherelle has pioneered the way we see and celebrate locks, using her platform to shift perspectives, build community, and inspire people worldwide to wear their crowns with confidence. Her mission is not only to showcase the beauty of locks, but to teach the proper way of creating and caring for them, setting a new standard in the industry. She is a trailblazer, an educator, and a cultural force. Please help me welcome the phenomenal Sherelle Holder.
What's up, Essence? Thank you so much for that amazing introduction.
Of course. Of
'Cause
course.
most of those things I probably wouldn't even say about myself, but thank you.
Of course.
Happy to be here.
But it's the truth,
Yeah.
and I think that people who have done amazing things in this industry, such as you, need to be celebrated. And like you said, we see ourselves, we know who we are, but we don't really see ourselves as other people who have experienced us.
Right.
And these are all truths about you, you
Right.
know? And so talk to me because I have seen your work. Obviously, I'm your friend and we've been around each other for some time, but
Right.
to really know, like, who is Sherelle? Where did she come from? Like, I know you from the Caribbean, so tell me
Right.
about your upbringing and, how you got into hair.
So, who is Sherelle? I was born in Trinidad and Tobago. Everyone know that's a twin island separated by water. I was actually born in Tobago. That's a smaller island. Both my parents are from Tobago also. And yeah, so I don't have a story like most where you're going to hear me say, "Oh, I've been doing hair since I was, a little girl, this and that." Yes, I knew how to do hair because every girl had a doll, right? But that wasn't necessarily my passion. So I migrated to the States at 15, finished up high school, and had to, figure out what I'm going to do. So at the time, my mom, she was a nurse. So, right.
I did not know we shared that history.
Yes.
Okay. My mom was a nurse too.
Of course, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do what mommy do, right? Why not? Like, it's easy. I didn't have to think about, what else to do, whatever. Um, so I did that. You're gonna laugh at me when I say this.
What?
Signed up for the nursing class. I probably went like one day and I was like, yeah, what am I even doing? Like, I don't like to see blood. If I become like a pediatrician or something, I probably would want to take all the kids home. Like, that's just, it just wasn't good. I'm like, why did I even pick this? Like, you know what I mean? So back to the drawing board, had to figure it out. At the time, we lived in a apartment complex, and my mom, she had a friend, and she was working at a hair salon. She was much older than I was.
Yeah.
She would see me all the time. She'll say, "Oh, you know where I'm working? They're looking for a shampoo assistant." And I'm like, "Girl, please." But then I wasn't doing anything else. So what did I do? Go, applied for the job, and I became a shampoo assistant. After probably like 2 weeks of shampooing, I did not enjoy the shampooing. I did not.
Girl, that's some hard labor.
Yes, it is. Your back. I'm like, ugh, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna do this. But in my head, I knew I wasn't gonna quit.
Yeah.
Right. So being around all of those hairstylists who were doing all natural hair at the time. I was like, okay, well, I can do some hair. But I know you remember back in the day, you don't go in no salon as no stylist. You got to work your way up.
Yep.
So you have to shampoo before you get to become a
Pay your
stylist,
dues.
right?
Yep.
Right. So um, I approached the boss and I asked her, I said, can I do hair? Because I don't really like shampooing. And I was very nervous because I didn't know what she was going to say. I could tell her I can do hair all day, but how do she know?
Mm-hmm.
She was like, you know what? I like a challenge. If I give you this client, you do their hair just the way I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
we can talk about you going on the floor. I said, okay, cool. So I did it. Her hair came out nice. And that's how I became to be a natural hairstylist. So I
Mm.
wasn't always a loctician. And side note, I still have that client to this day. Yes.
Wow. The first client you ever touched.
Yes.
That is
Absolutely. Her
amazing.
name is Kim, and that is my client to this day. So we talking about, let's see, we talking about like 15 years ago, probably more.
I love that. I love that because I feel like so many people think that you had to have been doing hair since you was a child, and they don't think that they can get into the industry
Mm-hmm.
later,
Yeah.
or that you have to know from like I knew I was called to be a
Yeah.
stylist.
Mm-mm. That was not my calling. And just to add a little on that story I just told, it's like, as the time go by, like I kept on having to like pivot. And what I mean by that is because even though I showed her I can do hair, like a two-strand twist, flat twist, I was good. I was doing cornrows, the design with the X's and all of that stuff. Like I was good. But then what started happening was my clientele started to dwindle down
Hmm.
because everybody wanted locks.
Yeah.
So, because I can two strand twist, they would come, I would two strand twist them, and they would go in another stylist chair to get their retwist because I didn't know how to do it.
Right. You know what's so crazy is I don't know how many people know that you started as a braider first.
Yes. Braider first.
A braider first. So hold
Braider
on, you was
first.
like, I'm missing out on some money because
I mean, at first I didn't look at it that way because, like I said, I felt good because I was still like starting that foundation
right.
for people. But then I'm like, why would I not start a foundation and maintain that foundation?
Absolutely.
So it's like I meet you one day and then I still see you in the shop, but I don't see you in my chair. I want to see you in my chair till the end.
So then what was that transition of like getting qualified to go to that next step? Did you have to go back to the salon owner to say, hey, I want to learn how to do locks? Or did you self
So
train at that
she
point?
actually, we had a conversation and she actually pushed me. She's like, you're going to do this. You could do it. It's easy. I'm like, maybe. But then, the pushing worked and I learned how to do it. And
And that was 15 years ago.
yeah.
So how long was that transition from the time that you started working shampoo assistant, going into braiding,
Hmm.
to starting locks, to like really doing locks? Was it like a few years?
I actually worked at that salon for about 7 to 8 years, I would say.
Okay.
Hmm.
And at what point where did you start doing locks?
Maybe like, yeah, 4 or 5 ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then when did you and how did you even decide I want to step out and do my own thing? And how was that transition? Because I know that stepping out and really putting all the money in the bet on yourself is
Right.
challenging.
That it also did not happen that way. I feel like to me, I always look at things like even though, things didn't go your way,
Mm-hmm.
it's for the good.
Come on
So
now.
I ended up getting fired from that job.
Shut up.
And I was so, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It was like I lost everything. What am I going to do? But the integrity in me, whatever happened, I didn't hold it against anybody. Um, I didn't burn any bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept going. And honestly, at that particular moment, I was like, I'm not doing hair anymore.
Really?
I'm going
Okay.
to find something else to do. You know what I
So you were
mean?
done with hair.
That's how I felt in that moment,
Yeah.
right? Because I just had to get myself together. A little dramatics, you
You're right,
know.
right.
I was just all over the place, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of it. Um, and then a few of my clients started reaching out to me, and I was like, why are you guys reaching out to me? Like, you can still go to the salon and get your hair serviced. You know, I'm no longer there. I'm the integrity in me also, I wasn't that stylist like, yeah, I'm not there anymore. Y'all come with me. If someone wants to follow you, they're going to follow you.
Right.
You don't have to beg them to come.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So they just kept on calling and calling. And I'm like, well, I don't have anything. I don't even have my own home. I don't have a chair. I don't have a dryer. I don't have anything.
Yeah.
So it so happened this was in 2010. My mom had just bought her home in DC. She said, "You know what, Sherelle? If you're going to do this, I want you to still be able to give these people a salon atmosphere. You can have the front of the house, that would have been her living area. She said, you just set up there. That way, they come in, they don't have to come past,
Into the
and
house.
they just leave.
Right.
Essence, I lie to you not. I bought one dryer, I had one salon chair, and whatever supplies I needed.
Yeah.
It was so many people coming to that house. I was like, no, this is getting ridiculous. It is getting absolutely ridiculous. And I always remember this was 2 years in me doing this. And my mom, she said to me, she's like, "Do you feel like you can cut your book short?" This would have been like the day before Thanksgiving. So, do you feel like you can cut it short so I can stop my cooking? We can get ready for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I've built up enough money to go out on my own because I can't be. She was nice enough to. I had that house for 2 years. Like, they was coming in and out like I was selling drugs or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
something. You know what I mean? And I was like,
It was
I can't,
trapping.
I can't do it. So I said, let me go online, see if I could, find some spaces. And I don't know why my mind was set up like that, but I didn't think I can get a place. I didn't think someone would say yes to me, like, you're approved for this, for this lease. Like, I've never done anything like this.
Right.
So, signed up for the place, went to go see it. I liked it. And they said, yeah, congratulations. And I cried like a baby
Mm.
because I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. But the hard work didn't start yet, even though I got the place, I had the clients, I did not have any, like, I would say, like a business plan or like a business structure, a mentor behind me telling me, how to go about doing this, don't do this, do that. And I feel like that was one of my biggest struggles. So I'm happy to say I've been winging it.
You've been winging it.
I've been winging
And
it
you've been winging it well.
until I had the opportunity to, meet people and, just like get a piece of, business stuff from, you know,
Yeah.
everybody. And that has definitely helped me along the way.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. So
Yeah.
social media comes about.
Social media comes about and, I'm just posting. And it's so crazy. I'm looking at my styles from now, and then I look at my styles then. I'm like, yeah, them styles are crazy. And I mean, crazy, like not good.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell me that. I was confident in my work. Okay.
Right.
So I just kept on going. I, let me see. So also with the social media and me posting, other locticians are looking at your work. Some like it, some don't, whatever, whatever. But it was this incident in particular where a lot of people probably don't know this, but I twist to the left. Not because I'm a lefty.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way I learned how to do it when I first started.
Right.
Right? So most people, it's like a handful of us that twist to the left.
Yeah.
Most people twist to the right. And then they would say, they'll break it down as to why you should twist to the right and all this other stuff. Like somebody even called me like the devil for doing that, which was funny. I just kind of laughed it off.
Yeah.
But that never discouraged me
Mm-hmm.
to say, oh, well, I'm not going to do that to the left. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it to the right to please anybody. I feel me twisting that way made me different from everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, if you can't tell me what, or let me rephrase, if you can tell me how it's hurting the hair, me twisting to the left, I'll stop.
Right.
But if you can't, I'm not going to stop.
Right.
There are other locticians who also twist to the right and people hair hanging by threads. I've had my clientele for a very long time and nobody's hair has fallen off.
The proof is in the pudding. Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding. And I'm just saying it to say it's like when you're on this journey or any journey, you make it yours.
You own it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that. And I think that people feel like there are rules to things. Well, I'm too old to get into it. Well, who said there was an age?
Right.
You
It's
know,
no rules.
there literally are no rules. It's what's in your heart,
Right.
what feels right. And if it's, like you said, if it's not compromising the integrity of a person's hair, if it's not compromising your own integrity,
Right.
then it has to be unique to you. And I think a lot of people, they're trying to be somebody else.
Right.
And that's what takes them out of being distinct.
Right.
They don't stand out.
Right.
So I agree with that. But as you continue to post on social media, you also begin to separate yourself, not just because of, like, say, the way you twist,
Yeah.
but the creativity in your styles. I feel like you have a very artistic mind,
Yes.
and you think outside of the box, even with your hairstyles. Like,
Yeah.
tell me about, like, how you view styling.
So I've always looked at not just styling, but anything that I do is like I always like to be different. I don't want to have on the same outfit that somebody else have on. I mean, I know I would. I just don't necessarily want to see them in it,
Right.
or I might put it on a different way. But I'm just saying that to say, like with hair, I don't have a like job experience, like working at a food store or I don't know, whatever. Hair
Mm-hmm.
is my job experience. So I want to do that to the best of my ability. How can I keep on doing that now, years and years from now, and still stand out in all the different, what's the word I'm looking for? The different trends, I guess I'm trying
Okay.
to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how am I still going to be it while it's different trends?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm always thinking further. I'm always thinking future.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't explain it. Like my mind just goes crazy. Even when I'm sleeping, I can be sleeping and think of something and I'm like, I'm going to try that in the morning.
I love that. And so I have also seen that, before social media, it was all word of mouth, but
Yeah.
you had expressed to me that during the pandemic, you just got a call that you thought it was spam. You thought somebody was scamming you.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Like,
Right. So I got an email from Essence Magazine, and they were saying they love my work and they want to feature me in this magazine. And I've never, gotten an email or a phone call like that before. So I screenshot it and I sent it to my sister. I said, "Girl, I think this is spam. I think somebody is playing with me." She said, "Girl, I don't think so. It's all the credentials at the bottom." So I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I emailed back and it was real. And you see how long of a space that took to even happen. I've been open since 2014.
Yeah.
I worked from home for 2 years, 2012 to 14. Opened my salon in 14, and here we are. And this happened in 2020 during COVID.
Yeah. And what I love is that it came to you, but it came to you because you were putting in the work. You were planting the
Right.
seeds, not even knowing that
Right.
6 years or
Yeah.
however long after that this is going to.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel to a degree that some of those things were in your heart. Like, even if it was on a vision board and it wasn't
Yeah.
really like super clear, it was
Yeah.
like, I see myself beyond where I'm at right now.
Right. Yeah,
So
I feel that.
you have went through a lot of transitions more
Mhm.
recently. What would you say has been like the most like challenging part of your life that maybe maybe affected like being a stylist, or not even necessarily feeling like you had to choose between the two, but
Mhm.
have you ever had any of those moments where you felt like my life is conflicting with being a hairstylist or a business owner?
So, yes, actually, that is a really good question. And I feel like being a mom, I had my daughter in 2021, and I now have a son who is 6 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I wouldn't say a struggle, but you have to learn now how to balance.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it's like when you go to the shop, your clients ain't trying to hear nothing else. They're coming to get service, and that shop will be jam packed every day.
Yeah.
But that will only happen if you allow it. So it's like I feel like it got a little tough when I had to scale back. But I had to scale back because now I also have my own family that I have to take care of. I also have to take care of myself so I can be able to take care of these clients.
Yeah.
So I went from working like 6 days a week to two. I only work 2 days a week now.
Right. But then you also set yourself up to be able to do that, because most people can't, or stylists have they not set something up to
Right.
be able to work 2 days a week. So
Right.
you got into education, you got
Right.
into products. So talk to me about education. What even got you wanting to train stylists?
So I always look at my, I guess, my story, if you want to say, as like a meal, right?
Mhm.
Like, let me just say, a meal I like to eat, curry chicken, right?
Yeah.
So to make that meal, you have to have all the ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you have all the ingredients together, you put it in the pot and you do your thing. If one or two ingredients is missing, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna come out good. It's not gonna taste good for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying that to say it's like you have to follow all the steps from step one, going to the grocery store, buying these things until
Mhm.
the meal is finished.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I always look at my journey like that.
Okay.
You start off as a shampoo assistant, you go on to being a stylist, and you work your way up until that meal is finished.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like my meal is almost finished. So now I have to look for an exit strategy, maybe, or maybe we can say that's my dessert.
Yeah.
I'm going on to something else. And I can't do everybody's hair. The goal is not for me to be just a the goal is not for me to be just a hairstylist. I've done that part already.
Right.
And there's a lot of, guys and ladies coming up to be stylists, and they're scared. They don't know what to do. They need help. They need mentoring. They need classes to show them how to do these things the proper way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like another pivot for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't do all these things at one time. So it's like I can't be a stylist behind the chair 6 days a week and trying to be a parent, or, trying to teach, or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do all these things. But other than being a stylist and loving the community that I've built with my team and my clients, I also want a community with other stylists who need me.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've done, I mean, lockathons. You've come up with some very creative ideas to really build that community. So
Hmm.
I don't, when I see you teaching, you don't just teach classes, like you
Right.
really kind of create an experience for them
Yes.
to be in on not just what you're doing, but
Hmm.
helping them to believe in themselves, to,
Yeah.
step out and do the things that they want to
Yeah.
do. So you've done like explain to me some of like your lockathon events that you've done.
So the Luckathon, again, it goes back to community. So, I've always wanted to like extend an invitation to stylists that we've never met before.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I do that? So we can meet them, so our salon staff can meet them, and they could also commingle, with each other.
Yeah.
And they all end up, becoming friends. They can
Mm-hmm.
call each other if they need something, they're going visiting, each other. Like, not saying that that cannot happen if we don't do the luckathon, but I think it makes it easier, maybe less weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That everybody's together in that one space and we just twisting and we just vibing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so 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 nice to see.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of your events, and
Yeah.
I love the atmosphere when you do that. Um, so talk to me about salon ownership. I know that we're in a new day and age where traditional salons are not necessarily like the thing. You have a lot of people, going straight from however the training that they got to straight into a studio. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on that? And overall building a salon environment and even the challenges with that? I know that's like three different questions in one, but you can just speak to that and we can.
So I guess this is like a divided question because if you ask certain people, they kind of like their own space, they want to manage their own thing, and I think that's cool. Everybody like what they like.
Yeah.
But then you have people who they don't like to manage their own thing. They want to work with someone. I like the salon culture because I'm very family oriented
Mm-hmm.
and I also implement that in my salon, right? So, we help each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like survival of the fittest, like you you want the client to go to you or your client can't sit in my chair. Like I don't like those things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm always like, our salon is commission based
Yeah.
because of that reason. I feel like a booth rent culture for me is kind of confusing to everybody, including staff and clients,
Agreed.
if you understand what I'm saying. Um, so yeah, and I'm actually thinking about opening salon suites for that reason also, because everybody want to be their own boss.
Mm.
So that's something I would like to tap into.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. You just diversifying at this
I
point.
mean, why not?
Right. Bigger
Why
opportunity
not?
for everybody.
But I didn't say this part. I feel like you have another group of people who are, just like looking online and yeah, they feel like they're not gonna go work for anybody or work up under anybody, and then they end up not working out for them, and they have to like leave and end up, going into a salon or not doing hair altogether because they didn't do the work leading up to.
Right.
You can't just go move into somewhere if you don't have no clientele.
Absolutely.
That's not how that works.
Absolutely.
So sometimes I feel like it's a setup.
Well, I mean, I think with anything, people have to count up the cost. It's just like if you're thinking rationally, that is not the best decision to go somewhere and have an overhead expense
Right.
that you can't even bet on it. Like you just like I transitioned from having full clientele into a space. It still
Yeah.
was a leap. It still was faith to go into a
That's right.
storefront. but it wasn't like foolish, because I think there's a fine line between like faith and foolishness, you
That's
know?
right.
And so foolishness is you're not ready for that. And so I
Yeah.
feel like salon culture is so vital for stylists, because not only do they have like a running head start, they're going to get fed clients. And if you're in a training environment, you're going to
Right.
get continued training.
Right.
Not only that, you're around teams, so you have support, and you can even be inspired
Yeah.
by what other stylists are doing.
Yeah.
So I always love the salon culture. I'm not saying that suites are bad, because technically we had salon suites before they were salon
Right,
suites in our own
exactly.
home,
Right,
right? But we
right.
also had the setup that was very
Yes.
professional, and it was set apart. It wasn't like, oh, come sit on my couch type of
Right.
thing.
That's right.
So, I mean, I'm not anti one or the other, but I do love the salon culture, because I feel like salons are the hub for our communities. And if
Right.
they're healthy spaces, like these are places where our community can come and not just be transformed on the outward, but as well as on the inside.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. You've traveled, and I'm sure you have a lot of things that are on the forefront for you. What are some things that you're excited about in terms of things that you already have on your table? Because I know you got a book, which you almost need to talk about your book right now, because
Yes.
we talked about this
So
book. Yeah.
I was such a procrastinator. Like, yeah, I'm far from perfect. I'm still working on myself. So yeah, I've even would tell you, since I want to do this book, I want to do this book, and I've been saying it for years. Why haven't I done this book? And then after I had my son, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this book,
Right.
and I did the book.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited about my new partnership with Shine and Jam.
Okay.
So these products are gonna be dropping soon, and you can catch me in the store.
They might have already been dropped by the time this episode dropped too. So.
Exactly. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work for me, like promoting and traveling. I'm also excited about getting more into my teaching,
Yeah.
you know?
What does that look like for you? I mean, I don't know if you want to share all of it, but what is
No,
that?
no, I'm okay with sharing. So I want to be that person that travel to like different salons all over the world that, do locks and teach them. I've gotten a lot of calls and have done it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I haven't like dedicated to do that, fully. So I would like to do that. I'll also like to be like a, not necessarily celebrity, but like I want to do brides and I want to do people here for shows and, all those things. I have one other, I don't know if I should say dream or something I always wanted to do. I want my work in like an art museum. It doesn't necessarily have to be there permanently, but I would want this museum for like at least a weekend and to
Okay.
see my work in there. I can picture it. I can see all the walls being white and my pictures are on the sides of the wall or real models, where people could like come and just look at the work.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
So you told me what you're looking forward to. You've accomplished so much at such a young age, and you have so much more to impact. And I'm really excited to see like the future of what you're
Yeah.
doing. And I'm grateful that I know you in real life, right?
Yes.
What would you tell your younger self? Maybe one of those challenging moments that you kind of felt like you might have wanted to give up, or even a stylist that's young and is coming in the game. So it could either be to your younger self or
Yeah.
to a stylist that is, stepping into the game.
What I would say is just be patient and be consistent. You know what I mean? Nothing is just going to come. It's going to come, but you got to put in the work. I feel like I did a lot of procrastinating. It's one of those things where you're like, I'm going to do this. I think I want to do this. And then, boom, somebody did it. And you was just talking about it. So if you feel like you want to do something, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I like when I first started also, I feel like my portfolio or like my Instagram page, it was looking blah. You know what I mean? The clients will come, they just want a bun, they want a two strand twist, they want a this, they want a that.
Same stuff, yeah.
Same thing. I don't want to post the same thing over and over. So you know what I started doing? I started reaching out to people or posting saying that I needed models,
Mm-hmm.
and I would do that hair for free because I know I would get money in return because people want crazy hairstyles too.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be like, girl, I want this hairstyle right here that I seen on your page. This one right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that is how, the creativeness started like coming out of me. Like, just knowing that I can do different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's okay to, to do somebody hair for free. If a paying client doesn't want something elaborate or, show them what you can do.
Yeah.
So it's ways around it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do feel like a lot of stylists feel stuck in this loop of doing the same thing over and
Right.
over again, and they
Right.
haven't found a way out. So I think that that's great advice because I've definitely had to do that as well. It's like,
Yes.
man, I think we're in this line of work because we are creatives. And when you find yourself doing the same thing over and over again, it doesn't feel like the passion and joy that you once had. So
Right.
you have to find how to break out of that wheel. And many
Right.
times, I noticed this with Black Panther. As soon as Michael B. Jordan had his locks and they was hanging to the front, why
Yeah.
every man was coming into the salon
That
asking
is
for
true.
their hair like that?
That is true.
They have to see it. It's like,
Yes.
I ain't gonna say that. But like people have to see it to actually want it. And so when you
Right.
give them the opportunity to
Right.
see it somewhere else, it's
Right.
like, give me that.
And that's fine. It's 2025. You
Mhm.
can't walk up to me and be like, girl, I do hair. Come to my shop. I'll be like, you got an Instagram page? That's the first thing they're going to say.
Exactly.
So you need to have your portfolio ready.
Yep.
Girl, this is my page right here. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Exactly.
You can't just talk. You got to have something
To show.
to show. And
To
you can't
show.
show me anything regular that my current stylist already does. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Before we get off, I do want to speak about this. I was coaching a client the other day, and we were talking about how she doesn't feel comfortable posting her work just yet. And she asked
Okay.
me, should she wait? And I was like, well, do you have paying clients right now? She was like, yeah. And I was like, well, if they paying you, you know what I'm saying, and they're returning, they're coming back. So I love to see a transformation. So I like to see the before and afters. And even as a stylist, I don't think that stylists should wait because they see everybody else's styles is better than theirs.
Right.
It's like you start somewhere. Like you said, you look back
But-
at your old pictures.
Right. But I also think that's the thing. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to have tunnel vision while you're building, because once you start veering off and looking at other stuff, then, you have this thing. Oh, no, her work. Yes, her work looks better.
Yeah.
Because she's been doing it consistently for a number of years.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean your work don't look good.
Right.
It just means you're just starting. And that goes back to the procrastination thing I used to do because I also felt the same way. But I'm like, you know what? Everybody is not the same. We're different.
Yeah.
I have to start somewhere. I got to finish by myself also. So that person you're looking at is not going to matter. So it would never be a perfect time.
Exactly.
So it's no need to wait.
no.
Do I need to wait? No, you don't need to wait. What are you waiting on?
Right. You're
If
waiting
you
for
got one
perfection.
chair in a 1,500 square footage salon, so what? Start.
Start. I love that. Yeah.
You just got to start.
Because if you're waiting on perfection, you will never start. And then it'll always be you're looking at what other people are doing and you just
That's
feel
right.
stirred in your spirit.
That's
I always
right.
say you can quit the dream, but the dream will never quit you. So you can act like, okay, I don't really want to do that. But really, it's just the fear blocking you from it.
Yeah.
And so you have to remove the fear. And sometimes you got to put blinders on.
Yeah.
Because when I think about a race anyway, you got the right lane and the left lane.
Mhm.
And if you keep looking to the right or left,
You're
you're gonna be
gonna lose.
distracted,
Yes.
and you're not even gonna be able to run as
Right.
fast because you ain't even paying attention.
That's right.
But if you focus and you
Mhm.
do the work,
Yeah.
you're going to see that progression. And next thing you know, you look up at 5 years later, and it's just like you go back to your old styles. It's like I done came so far, and you can be
Right.
proud of that.
Yeah.
So, and not only you can be proud of it, but I think your clients are going to see the progression because you're putting in the work. And I do feel like it's important for stylists to invest in themselves because it's
Yes.
cool to say I'm self-taught and it's cool to say I got this, but at the same time, if you know that you're not where you would like to be,
Mhm.
then investing in yourself is the best thing because it's not just an investment in your skill set. You don't know what type of relationships you're going to build.
Right.
We invested in ourselves going to certain things. That's how we even met
That's right.
over a decade ago.
That's right.
Right?
Mhm.
And so I think that stylists also should be looking at, okay, how can I invest into me being in the industry in all ways because
Right.
things will open up for them.
Yes, you have to know the kind of industry you're in. You have to know, you know, like, yeah, you just started doing locks, but like, you got to know how many people that you don't have to know how many people before you did it, but it's good to know,
Be aware.
like to make that connection because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because they paved the way, really and
Correct.
truly,
Right.
And so I always look to those who went before me. I've had mentors who've been in the game for forever,
Yeah.
and I'm inspired by them.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the biggest things that you want to look to because they bring inspiration. Look
That's
look what
right.
they were able to do.
That's
You
right.
inspire me. Stasha inspires me. Like we all are able to be inspirations to one another. And so
Right.
you do want to be aware. But is there anything you want to share that we did not cover in this? Anything you want to say to any stylists out there?
Like I said before, consistency is key.
Yeah.
So just keep pushing. If this is what you want to do, start now. Don't wait. Oh, I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to start right now.
Yeah. Or we going to come find you.
Oh, we going to come find you.
Well, Sherelle, tell them how they can find you.
So you can find me on Hair by Rel on Instagram, HAIRBYELLE, or Caribbean Kinks with a K. We are located in Capitol Heights, Maryland, 557 Ritchie Road. Pull up.
Love. Thank you so much for joining us on this rare. Go
Sorry.
ahead. No, say what you need to say.
Shout out to Tiffany and Treasure.
What up, Tiffany and Treasure? Caribbean Kings, okay?
Yes.
Thank you all for joining us on this special episode. Sherelle just popped in town and she was like, "Hey, we got time. Let's go sit down." I was like, "Listen, I'm always down for a conversation. I love conversation." So grateful to have you here, and thank you all for watching. And I pray that you all were inspired by some part of her journey that will like literally light a fire in you for you to take the next step. Because you never know where your life will go. We didn't see, I'm sure Sherelle didn't see what she's doing now. Like, I mean, you had those dreams, but didn't even know. And so I say that to say that it is endless possibilities. Endless. So take the step, come out of hiding, post your work, and we'll see you on the next rare conversation. Peace, y'all.
Bye.